Go there. Well, good morning, everybody. It's TGIF. Thank God it's Friday, and we're here once again gathered around the breakfast table. And of course, we may be at your workplace while you're watching this. And a pleasant good morning to each and every one of you. It's again Friday, and it's the coffee hour. My name is Frank Allan. Thank you so much for being along with us. We are going to swing with you for the next hour. We're here every Friday between 10 and 11 a.m., and we engage you in conversation. We have a little coffee together, and we just have a good time. And we've got a lot of things coming up right through the show, of course. You're engaging in conversation anytime you want. All you have to do is type, and I'll see you right there on the big screen, and I will acknowledge your suggestions and ideas and all of your comments, and we'll just have a lot of fun. Later on today, we have the 2020 feature, 20 minutes past the hour. Brian Camp will be here with the latest developments in today's world of sports with Sports Update. 20 to the hour, DJ Pete will be here with entertainment news, of course, reciting all of those great birthdays of entertainment or entertaining people who are celebrating birthdays this week, people of notoriety. And of course, again, you and I and all of us together. So thank you for being along with us. I want to say hi to all of you people out in Facebook land, all of you people out there in YouTube land. We simulcast each week. So if you don't catch us on one, you can always catch us on the other. And we invite you, if you're watching us on YouTube, to always take time. You can do that right now. Take time and subscribe to my YouTube channel. This way, you'll never miss a show. Every time we come on the air, as we are now, you'll be notified. And even when we post something, a pre-recorded video or something, you'll be notified. That's the purpose and that's the plan. So thank you so much for being along with us. Now, for those of you who are on Facebook, get your friends in on it right now. All you have to do is just tag them. And I know you have a lot of friends, all of you, so tag all of them, get them in so we can build up this audience, and it'll be fine. So let's get started right now. And ladies and gentlemen, what would the coffee hour be without a little coffee? So salute, Jindani. May you live 100 years. It's always great when Friday comes around because that lets me know the weekend is just around the corner. Now, for some of you who are 9-to-5ers and you may be watching from your offices right now, you're thinking, well, at 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon, it starts my weekend. So we're looking forward to all of that. And while we're at it, let's give that big hearty hand clap to each and every one of you, of course. That goes out to you for being so diligent each week watching this show and being loyal to our show, The Coffee Hour. If you've been around with us all of these years, thank you so much for being along with us. Those of you who are joining us for the very first time, please don't make it your last time. Come back again and again. Make it your weekly habit. That's what we like to say. Also, that hand clap goes out to all of the people, you know who, all of the doctors and nurses and all of the hospital personnel who have been with us since the pandemic. All of the people, firefighters, police officers, all other essential workers who have been around with us. Keep things going, keep things moving in the city. When the pandemic was really bad, we're still in the midst of it all. Not as bad as it was almost a year and a half ago, but it's still here. And that's why we always come out and tell you about the alternatives. You can either get vaccinated or you can be on your own. I don't know what, that would mean to you, but, we urge you here. We always encourage you here to get vaccinated. Now, we have 3 vaccinations, all right, on the market right now, vaccines on the market. We have J&J, we have Moderna, we have Pfizer. And, of course, J&J vaccine is the one that you only take 1 dose, right? And then people are going around to the 2nd dose. But if you're doing Moderna and Pfizer, those are 2-dose. That's a 2-dose vaccine. And hopefully by now you're fully vaccinated with those vaccinations. And we urge you to get the booster, which is right around the corner. And I understand they're going to start with people 65 and up, as they'll take their time and get down to the lower levels of the vaccines. And we urge you to do that. And if you're eligible to do that right away. I understand that the 20th of this month, that's when it was available to all people in that age bracket. But they're going to get to all the ages. Now, as far as vaccinations of all the people, all the kids who are going back to school, yes, they're back in school now. And the new thing now is that 5 years old and up can get vaccinated. They have that available for people, for little kids, that age. And as opposed to last week, it was only 12 years old and up. But now they're doing it 5 years old and up. But double check on that first, make sure. And make sure you check with your doctor before getting vaccinated to see if it's right for you in the first place. And we hope that it is. And if it is, please take it. It's very important. And if you're not going to do it for yourself, at least do it for your kids. If they're going to live in the same household and you're not vaccinated, well, that's not a good thing. And then they have to go out to schools where possibly other kids are not vaccinated. That's not a good thing. So the point is to make sure everybody is on one accord, are on one accord. This way we can get all of the vaccinations out to all of the people who qualify for them. And that'll be a good thing. Now, if you don't know where to get yours, all you have to do is go to places like pharmacists, your favorite pharmacist. I'm pretty sure some of your primary doctors may have supplies of the vaccine. You can take it there. And they have places on the street where they park vehicles that, too, you can get vaccinated and you can get the test, the COVID test. Some people are still taking that, and that's a smart thing to do if you think you actually need it, especially if you're traveling. If you're going by flight, of course, travel with that. Now, they didn't, as far as the flights are concerned, I don't think they mandated yet. So now we don't know who's on those airplanes. You don't know who you're sitting next to. So the thing to do, if you have to travel, if you must travel, make sure you get tested after, maybe before, most likely after you get back from your trip. And this way it'll be good. You can also look out for your safety in that regard. So that's what we're doing right now, and that's where it is. Now, again, 3 vaccines are available. Again, you have the J&J, you have the Moderna, and you have the Pfizer. So whatever it is that you're taking, take it. But if you've taken, let's say, for instance, Pfizer for your first time, when you get ready to take your booster, go for Pfizer again. Don't mix your drinks. Make sure that everything is right and everything is okay. Okay, so here we are once again on this Friday. Now, if you're going to come in, I want to wave to all of you people out there, Facebook, all of you people out there, YouTube. Thanks for dropping by. We really appreciate you. And if you're going to come in and if you have something to say, by all means, say it. We're here for you. And those of you who may be from different countries or different cities, and you want to chime in with us, please do that. We're going to ask you for your weather forecast wherever you may be. Don't worry about New York. If you're in New York, don't worry about that. I will handle that because I have the forecast, the weather forecast coming up for you. First of all, before I do the weather, I want to acknowledge a couple of links that were broken in our entertainment chain. And actor, comedian Anthony A.J. Johnson. If you don't know who he is, he was famous for playing in the movie Friday, House Party, and other films like that. He died this week at the age of 55. So we want to send out condolences out to him, his family, and his friends, and all the people who work with, his colleagues and his fans and everyone else who's associated with Anthony A.J. Johnson. Also, another link broken in the chain of entertainment. Sarah Dash from Patti LaBelle and the Bluebell and LaBelle. When she started out in her younger years, she worked with Patti LaBelle, and they were called Patti LaBelle and the Bluebells, featuring, of course, Patti LaBelle, and you had Sarah Dash, and you had Nona Hendrix, and you had Cindy Birdsong. And then later on, as they became LaBelle, it was down to a trio of them. It was still the originals, Sarah Dash, Patti LaBelle, of course, and Nona Hendrix. Well, Sarah Dash passed away this week as well, so we want to send our condolences out to her friends, Patty LaBelle, and all of the people who work with her, and fans and associates, and everybody who knew and loved her. She died at the age of 76. So farewell to Sarah Dash. This week, as you know, we're continuing the Hispanic Heritage Month. That's all of our Latino brothers and sisters. We want to congratulate you, and they're celebrating. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of events taking place for this month in that regard. A lot of food festivals and street fairs and things. So you better soak up the sun as far as the street goes, as far as your summer goes, because summer this coming week will be officially the week of spring. We'll have our first taste of spring, and the weather feels like that just a little, not too much, but you could tell that there are no more heat waves, and the weather is taking its place as you know, spring left, summer left, and now we have fall, and before you know it, it's going to be winter. So let me give you our weather forecast here in New York City. Right now, we have 61 degrees. That's what we have right now, 61 degrees outdoors. And it looks like this for today. It's not a bad weekend for us New Yorkers. It's not a bad weekend at all. It's going to be great. We've got 61 degrees, as I said. It's going to be partly cloudy, slight chance of a rain shower developing later on today. We'll have a high near 75 degrees. Winds will be west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tonight, we'll have clearing skies. We'll have a low of 59 degrees, winds light and variable. For Saturday, 77 degrees will be the high. We'll have sunny skies along with a few afternoon clouds, and winds will be light and variable. Saturday night, if you're going to go out, please do it safely when you do that too as well. Mostly cloudy early, then clearing later on that night. We'll have a low 61 degrees. Winds will be west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And as we wrap up our weekend for our Sunday, seems like the better time of the weekend. Sunny skies all day. We'll have high temperatures 74 degrees, winds west-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And repeating our temperature, we have 61 degrees outside, and now we boost up to 63 degrees. Can you imagine that? It's 63 degrees right now, and it's sunny. So there you have the weather forecast. For those of you who will be coming in, we invite you to give us your weather forecast as you enter. If you're from another city or another country, just like that's what we do. It's not something that's mandatory, but that's something that we just like to do to see how your weather is as compared to our weather here in New York. So we're doing good so far. We're doing absolutely marvelous. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, excuse me while I shoot up. Delicious. Really good. Okay, it's 12 minutes past the hour right now, and it's 12 minutes past the hour wherever you are. And again, you're tuned to the coffee hour because we come your way each Friday between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. It's always a pleasure to be here. I just love being here on Fridays and just sharing a conversation with each and every one of you. Later on, by the way, I didn't mention it, but we have those great movies. If you like Turner Classic Movies, you watch that TV station all the time, right? I have all of those movies that you love. I have a few of them that I'm going to relay to you, convey to you later on in the program. So it's like only my picks of these movies for this weekend, just in case you want to do something outside of just going out, or maybe if you're staying indoors, maybe if your weather is not good, it's a time to stay home and catch up on great movies. I have those coming up too, and have other things, other suggestions that you can do for the weekend. Of course, you can suggest your own if you have any suggestions too as well. You know, we're right here for you. Just let us know what's happening. Okay, and just in a couple of seconds from now, Brian Kemp will be here with the latest developments in today's world of sports, starting the 2020 feature of it all, and we will be here. Now, as I said, school is back in session. Summer is over, And the next thing you know, we're going to be looking forward to a lot of things that's coming up. October, of course, is just right around the corner. At the end of October, people are looking forward to Halloween and those scary Halloween costumes will be out there. The kids will be out there trick or treating. And then we look for other things that's coming out. You got November coming up. We have all of those holidays like Thanksgiving that's coming up as well. And then you have, before you know it, Christmas is right around the corner in December. We get that frigid weather, and that's what we're looking forward. I want to say hello to Nato from Kobe, Japan, just walked in. Good morning and good evening to you, Nato. He's coming out of Kobe, Japan. And of course, he's one of our regulars here. As of course, you can chime in as well to say hello. If you don't want to chime in a conversation, just say hi. I want to say hi to you back. I could say hi to you now, but I'd like to say it to you personally. So if you want to say something, just say hi. And so hi to all of you Facebook and all of you YouTube and all of you come on in and have a good time with us. We've got so much planned for you right here on the coffee hour. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, excuse me while I shoot up. Oh, that's delicious coffee. Now, Nato just gave us a weather forecast in Kobe, Japan, as he always do. You see what I mean? You know, if you're living outside of New York, we always ask you to do that. That's always a great thing. So Naoto has his Kobe, Japan weather forecast. It's 69 degrees Fahrenheit there so far, so that's not bad. And it's going to clear skies. It's nighttime over there, of course. And it's got clear skies, and he's got northwest winds coming at 6.8 miles per hour. And so he has no rain. I assume there's no rain in the forecast, no snow, no nothing inclement like that. Okay, so good. Okay, in just a few minutes, again, 20 past the hour, Brian Camp will be here with the latest developments in today's world of sports. So we've got a lot of, a round of, too, later on I will give you, after DJ Pete does his feature, part of the feature, I will give you some of the birthdays. Of course, if he beats me to them, then I won't have anything to say about those. But he shares all of those birthdays and talk about the history of some of these entertainers that he talk about each week. Well, that's coming up 20 to the hour, and that's coming your way right here on the coffee hour. And so there you go. I want to say hello once again. More people are coming in, I see. Yeah, more people are coming in. Hello, guys. How are you? You got something to say? There he is. Watching TV. Now, a lot of you may be watching this show right now from your homes, depending on the time of day you are, because we're morning, noon, and night. And those of you who are in someplace else like Naoto, he's ready for bed. We're rising and shining, having coffee, and he's just about ready for bed. But if you're watching us, some of you may be watching from work. Now, if you're home, you're watching us from home doing whatever you're doing, we thank you so much for being there. Those of you who are at work, you may be on your coffee break on the coffee hour. And, you know, some of the companies, they give you coffee breaks, right? 15-minute coffee breaks, and then you're back at work. You know, my suggestion to you, if you want to stay around a little longer, we really would appreciate that. While you're taking your coffee break, take your coffee break at your desk while you're working, and then when the coffee break is over, we'll still be right here with you, and you can multitask, right? Watch the show at the same time, work at the same time. And but whatever time you can spare each week, I don't care. Maybe it's a minute, maybe it's 2 minutes, whatever time you could spare. We'd like you to be with us for the entire show, but if you can't spare a whole hour with us, thank you for sparing what you can spare with us. We really appreciate that. And again, for those of you who are watching us on YouTube, please keep in mind that you can subscribe to us. And you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, which again allows you to be notified whenever we go on the air live or whenever we send any kind of pre-recorded video that you may enjoy, that I think that you may enjoy. You'll be notified with all of that. And again, to all of the people who are watching Facebook, you know what to do, right? Tell your friends and family about the show. Tag them. You can tag them right now as we speak. A lot of people do. And we really appreciate that. And when they come in, they may not even know anything about this show. And when you relay the information to them, hopefully they'll come on our side and be part of us, because it's like we're like a family here, a family of cuckoos. That's what we are. Thank you so much for being along with us. Again, ladies and gentlemen, excuse me while I shoot up. I don't know. Are you having coffee? Maybe tea? You don't have to have coffee. I mean, we call it the coffee hour, but you don't necessarily have to have coffee. You could have tea, or whatever your favorite beverage is. We're coming up to the weekend, and we've got a lot of. I'm pretty sure a lot of you got to have a lot of plans. But as I said, whatever you're going to do this weekend, do it safely. But remember one thing: that whatever you do, do it safely. But on the other hand, enjoy yourselves. All right. Soak up what's left of this nice weather that we have upon us. Okay. And speaking of nice weather, we're going to Charlotte, North Carolina, where the weather is always nice and clear. And Brian Camp is on the line right now with the latest developments in today's world of sports. How's the weather out there, Brian?
Good. And the Queen City is always beautiful out here.
See?
The weather's great. The sun is out. The sun is going to be out all weekend, all day. In fact, for the next couple of days. And, we got 61 degrees going up to 75 degrees today. And hello to all out there on Facebook and to everybody on YouTube. Hope all is well to everybody that's out there. And good evening to Naoto. Hope you're doing well. And to everybody else that's out there, I say hello. So let me tell you about sports. Guess what's coming back? 2021 New York City Marathon. It is coming back. I'll have more details for you for next week on that. The marathon is back, but there's some restrictions. Like I said, I will tell you that. It is the oldest. No, let me take back. It is the world's largest marathon in the world. 26.2 miles from, of course, 5 boroughs of New York City. It is the largest in the world. It's amazing. So, going through the Arizona Bridge, but people out there live in New York, which I lived there for so many years, just about all my life, doing that drive, you're going to be stuck in traffic. Yes, even on Sunday or so, whatever. Yeah, I believe it's going to be on a Sunday. I think it's going to be on a Sunday, November 7th, and don't even think about it. That's a big event. I believe that's the time, or maybe a week before or after, where you turn back your clocks. I think so. Or push them up ahead. So be aware of that. In the NFL,
no, actually, we bring the clocks back. Fall back.
It will fall back. Yeah. Okay, yes. Then the NFL will stage an international combine for 50 athletes from 14 countries next month in London. This idea is to find international athletes who have the skill sets and potential to play in the NFL, which I think is a great thing, a great idea, because we're getting people all over the world to try to play American football. Now, and like I said before, the past, football in Europe is known as soccer. We call it soccer, but they call it football. Mm-hmm. In the United States here, we have a pigskin ball, and we throw it around, and we kick it, and we fumble it, and we, just carry the ball. We call it NFL football, American football. So that's what they plan on doing. That should be very interesting. It was great to see talent all over the world, not only in the United States, but all over the world. Now, this will take place October 12th at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. That's in London, by the way. Invited are athletes from Britain, Germany, Belgium, New Zealand, France, Nigeria, Austria, Slovakia, Italy, Switzerland, Japan, Finland, Sweden, Hungary. All these athletes will be participating, and just to show their potential, so that they could play in the NFL. They will be evaluated for potential positions in the NFL international player, It's called a pathway program. Major League Baseball, as you know, Roberto Clemente's number is being considered to be retired by all of baseball. Jackie Robinson holds that only distinction as he broke through 1947 for the color barrier for all people of all colors who could play the game of baseball. And they're doing the same right now. They're talking about it for Roberto Clemente. He is the first Latino Puerto Rican born to ever be inducted into Hall of Fame. You know, he passed away back in 1972, and usually they wait 5 years for somebody to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, but in this case, they do make exceptions for certain elite players, and Roberto Clemente was immediately inducted into the Hall of Fame. They would have done the same thing for Kobe Bryant in the NBA, but Kobe Bryant's fifth year of eligibility was arriving anyway. So, he lived 4 years after his retirement, but he was going to go into the Hall of Fame anyway. Speaking about the NBA, Brooklyn Nets general manager Sean Marks said some players would be unable to participate playing because of New York City vaccine mandate. Marks could not comment on who could play and so forth. Marks feels confident. This is what he says. He feels confident in the following several days before training camp, which opens up in October, and everybody would be allowed to participate. So he feels that everybody would be on hand that would be able to get together for this. But it's still early. We still got a lot of work to do with these here rules and regulations because the virus is still going on. This day, September 24th, 1919, Boston Red Sox slugger Babe Ruth sets a major league record season with a hit on home run 28. 28 home runs was a record back in 1919. Now, mind you, he was a pitcher. He was a pitcher back then, and as you know, he was converted into a right fielder, outfielder, and the rest is history. He hit 714 career home runs. He hit that off of Yankee pitcher Bob Sharkey. The following year, the Red Sox traded him to the New York Yankees. Speaking of 1920, Babe Ruth again becomes the first to hit 50 home runs in a season, in a major league season. So, being converted from a pitcher to a regular everyday player, I guess he knew that why continue to pitch where I could hit home runs over the wall, where he could play every day. So that's what happened. 1922, St. Louis Cardinals Hall of Famer Roger Hornsby sets a National League record at 42 years of age. Wow, amazing longevity. 1927, National League Hockey League. St. Patrick's become the Toronto Maple Leafs. 1934, 2,500 fans sees Babe Ruth's farewell Yankee appearance at Yankee Stadium. That was his last appearance in the Yankee uniform. It was his last appearance. 1957, the Brooklyn Dodgers play his last game at Ebbets Field, defeated the Pittsburgh Pirates 2-0. You know, the following year they moved to Los Angeles, where they are staying right now, where they play ball. Boo! I'm a San Francisco Giant fan, not a Dodgers fan, but yes, that is still part of baseball. Where I still have to report that. 1974, Al Kaline of the Detroit Tigers is the 12th player to get 3,000 hits. 1979, Pete Rose reaches 200 hits in a season for the 10th time. That's amazing. Pete Rose. Charlie Hustle, they call him. 1980, Atlanta Braves joined every National League team with 1 million fans in attendance for the season. It seemed like every team that year in 1980 drew 1 million fans. 1 million fans, you could do that with halfway through the season. But because they're building these stadiums now where it's just amazing how they just expanded. They could put a lot of people in there without a problem. 1992, Toronto Blue Jays, Dave Winfield, 40, is the oldest player to reach 100 RBIs. You don't know what RBIs is? That's a run batting. That's when you hit a ball And the runner that's on base scores without throwing an error or committing an error. In 2017, NFL players kneel, lock arms, or stayed in their dressing rooms during the national anthem in protest against comments made by the president, number 45. So he had made some silly comments, and the rest is history. That was just so recent. Also in 2017, LeBron James called President number 45, "You bum." I'm gonna not comment anymore. That's self-explanatory. He made the 45 made a tweet in response to his comments about Steph Curry, and LeBron James is only protecting another fellow basketball player. So there you go. That's why he's been called so many names. That's why he's been locked out of Twitter or Facebook. But he's still hanging around now. Also, I wanted to mention, in the near future, you're going to be, this is my feeling on TV announcers on baseball games. During the pandemic, a lot of these baseball announcers was doing their games in their own home. Now, me watching the San Francisco Giants, I watch all their games. I noticed that a lot of the announcers, they don't travel with the team. What they do is they report to work. They report to their home team in San Francisco, but the team itself is in another city playing. So this is what technology is doing. I think that's what's going to happen in the near future. They're not going to have TV announcers or analysts to do the play-by-play with the team. I think this is just a safety reason for now. But I noticed not only with baseball, they doing it with basketball too. A lot of basketball announcers was doing the play-by-play from home or in a studio in their hometown where they're at. So I guess they could cut down expenses, but they also want to also do this remotely. And I think this is what's happening now in this new day and age. A lot of people that host radio shows are doing it, are broadcasting remotely from their own home. And it's the new day and age. I watched this thing on college football. Paul Winbound, I think is his name is, and he lives right here in Charlotte. He works for ESPN. He does everything in his own home. So that's what to look out for.
Yeah, you're right. And I think, they could have done this a long time ago. They could have done this a long time ago. It's just, I think the pandemic just forced them to do it. And now that they're doing it, they say, hey, why not? Why should I travel? Why should I go anywhere? Why should I do anything? And I could set up everything right at home or wherever my location is and do that. So yeah, and I have a feeling it's not just in sports and TV and radio announcers, not just them, but I think I have a feeling that people who work in corporate life will probably do everything at home. Everybody's doing everything at home. Nobody's going back to the office. They set their office up at home, and depending, you're right, it may save a little revenue for them, but that's the way it is. Now, as far as broadcasters go, some broadcasters have been doing their thing from home in the 1950s. This is just a better technology right now where everyone can do it. They had a special way of doing it. But yeah, that's what everybody's doing. Nobody wants to go to the office anymore.
I think that with this pandemic is just making more and more people work from home.
Yeah.
You have less traffic.
Yep.
You could be a lot safer.
Yep.
As you know, with being athletes and broadcasters, you on the road a lot. Mm-hmm. It takes away from family life, and it tires you out. Yeah. I can understand the players, they have to go on the road. They have to get on a plane. Mm-hmm. They have to get on a bus or a train to travel. That's their job. Yeah. But to call the game is just amazing how you can just be in your own home. And I've seen broadcasters where they have the color a play-by-play and the color commentary, mm-hmm. where they could be in two different places and they could just broadcast and give the analysis of the game
Yeah.
in their own homes or in their own studio. It's amazing.
That's right. That's right.
Hmm?
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but listen, as long as life goes on, any way you can do it, it could be done. You mentioned something about Pete Rose, which I think found very interesting. I'm still wondering when they're going to put him in the Hall of Fame.
A lot of people do not want Pete Rose in. What they're saying is that they're going to put him in the Hall of Fame when he dies. It's cruel to say, but I've read a lot of stories that a lot of these writers and a lot of these fans are saying, and these experts believe that they would eventually put him in, but they're not going to give him the satisfaction of doing it while he's alive. If you're going to put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame, you got to put some of these PED players who were using these drugs. My favorite is Barry Bonds. I think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, but they're not going to give him the satisfaction as home run king. They're not going to give Pete Rose the satisfaction as an all-time hit leader because he gambled while in the game.
Yeah.
He lied about it, and then finally, years later, he did admit it. And my thing is, I have this fight all the time where, what Barry Bonds did and what Roger Clemens did is he cheated. But Pete Rose stole money. When you're a manager of a baseball team, do you know you have the option to win money, to bet on your own team, to bet against your team by pulling out a star player or putting in the wrong player just to make money? Mm-hmm. People don't realize that. He had control of being a manager and decided how much money he would win or what he might lose.
Yeah.
You see the difference?
Yeah. It's a tough thing, and I was pondering it. I was kicking it around in my head over the years. I mean, yeah, he did bet on the game, which is, betting on baseball. I guess depending on where you bet, but in his case, it was illegal, and
he deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. Regardless, he played the guy. He left it all on the field. He played hard.
Yeah.
Did he fall short? He sure did. He gambled, and is he remorseful? He's not really a remorseful person. Mm-hmm. But what he did on the field, talent-wise, that's why they call him Charlie Hustle, because he really hustled to play hard.
Yeah. So I keep every season I think about that. When are they going to put this guy in? I think he deserves it. Well, we'll see what happens.
They won't give him the satisfaction until he's gone, and I think that's so sad.
Yeah.
They don't want to give him the satisfaction of smelling his roses while he's still alive.
No pun intended, right?
Nope.
And about the New York City Marathon, I urge people, if you don't have to go out, if you live in New York and that marathon comes, your way, my advice to you is to stay home and don't move a muscle. Watch it on TV, unless, of course, you want to be out in the crowd watching it there. But if you have to travel, there's no place to go. There's no place to go. And I've gotten caught in traffic like that a lot doing that.
And, the worst two things is be stuck in a marathon and stuck on a parade.
Yeah.
Where you just have to stay there until they find an opening for you to cross.
That's right. And one other final thing, you're right about the setting back the clock. It is November 7th, but we'll get around to that when it happens. Brian, thanks a lot. We'll catch you back here next week.
Take care, everybody. Enjoy the weekend.
You too. Take care. This is Brian Kemp with the latest developments in today's world of sports with Sports Update. He comes your way each week at this time and bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. Thank you, Brian, for that information and the conversation too. DJ Pete, I haven't seen him. He usually pops up, and I didn't get any kind of notification from him or any kind of incentive that he was going to take off today. I'm hoping that he is. I checked my email to make sure that he sent something, and he didn't. So hopefully he'll come around. We'll see what happens. 22 the hour, that's coming up in just a few seconds from now. If not, we're going to move along. We're going to be creative, as they say. If you're just joining us, it's the Coffee Hour. My name is Frank Allan, and we're here each week for you, each week between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. And, of course, we come here with great conversation. And of course, you can be part of the conversation too. If you're coming in, please, say hi. And if you're out of the country or in another state or something like that, give us your weather forecast as Naoto did out of Kobe, Japan, and everybody will be really happy. So thank you so much for being along with us. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, once again, while I shoot up. Delicious. It's 20 to the hour right now. Time for the 2020 feature, 20 to the hour, DJ Pete. We're going to give him a couple more seconds. It's a possibility that our paths cross, but we missed each other like two ships in the night. I don't know. I did check my my email even this morning before I went on the air to make sure that he had some material for me to go by. And normally, when he comes on, he's right there. I could see him right there on the screen, but he hasn't come on yet. So we'll see what happens. We'll give it another couple of seconds or so. And reminding, just in case you're just joining us, I stated earlier about our two links that were broken in the entertainment area. Those of you who are just joining us right now, and you probably heard about it already, actor, comedian Anthony A.J. Johnson passed away. Anthony Johnson, of course, you know him from the movie Friday and House Party. He passed away this week at the age of 55. Sarah Dash, a member of Patti LaBelle and the Bluebells and LaBelle, passed away this week as well. She passed away at the age of 76. So we want to send our condolences out to all of the people who knew her, knew them, and loved them, worked with them, all the family, friends, relatives, and even the fans who have followed them all over the years. And on top of that, I want to say hello to all of my Latino friends all across the country who are celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. And of course, there's going to be a lot of action taking place. I'm pretty sure anywhere you go in the Latino community, there's going to be a lot of festive activities. You have outdoor activities, and this is the time to get it out of the way now before the weather gets really, really cold. When the weather gets cold, it's all over. And we expect that sometime coming in November, when Thanksgiving comes around, we get the frigid weather. Not so much frigid, but when somewhere around December, when the cold really hits. I don't know how cold it's going to be here in New York, because we've been getting away with murder for the past couple of years. It hasn't been like really excruciating cold, but it's been cold, and we look forward to the weather. A lot of people who enjoy the cold weather, listen, you can have my share of it. If you enjoy the cold weather, you could have my share of it. Cold weather and Frank Allan do not get along together. And even though I was born in a four-season town and born in the month of November, where it's really cold, it doesn't matter. I'm still top of the line, summer boy. I love the summer, and I love the heat, the weather, and all of that goes with it. Well, DJ Pete is not here, so we are going to move along, and because I have birthdays, I want to talk about birthdays coming up this season, this week. Birthdays, we have Linda McCartney, the late Linda McCartney, the wife of Paul McCartney, passed away. Of course, she's no longer with us. She would have been 80 years old today. Sonny Turner from the Platters, still alive and kicking. He's 82 today. Happy birthday, Sonny Turner. Actor, singer Anthony Newley, the late actor Anthony Newley, would have been 90 years old today. And of course, finally, the late jazz trumpeter Fats Navarro would have been 98. So those are the birthdays. And that should cover what probably Pete would have been mentioning there. There you go. But listen, speaking of Pete, he has a radio show. Wouldn't it be funny if you just called in just now, right now, and then we get back to it. But in the meantime, he has a radio show. I got to give him a call after the show, find out what happened. I don't know what happened to him. Maybe he sent something, thought he sent it, or maybe, anything could happen. Anything you remember. But I did check the email to find out if he was going to be here. Anyway, DJ Pete has a radio show, and you can catch him on www.radio-airwaves.co.uk, and you can catch him there every Monday between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. And also catch him on WMPG Radio in Portland, Maine. That's his hometown. He's right there. And if you can't get access to the station itself, you could always go onto the website, www.wmpg.org, and you can catch him there every other Tuesday between 8:30 p.m. and 10 p.m., all times Eastern in the United States and Canada. So there you go. So I think that covered the 2020 feature. Brian Camp did his live 20 after the hour with the latest developments in today's world of sports and sports update. And of course, we covered for DJ Pete this morning with entertainment news. Not so much entertainment news, but we just had the birthdays, which I read off. I'm pretty sure he had other news if he were here. There must be some kind of explanation why he's not here, but we will find that out. We will relay that to you, and we'll find out. Maybe if we give him a call and see what. No, I don't want to do that. He may be actually at work, and maybe he forgot to nail it. We'll find out. We'll find out. Anyway, it's the coffee hour. Just in case you're just joining us, thank you so much for being along with us. You're watching us on Facebook and you're watching us on YouTube. We thank you so much for being with us. We want you to stay with us for the rest of the show. You might as well, because we only have a few more minutes left. And if you're watching us on Facebook, well, of course, you're going to want to pass it on to a friend, one of your friends or a lot of your friends. Get them in on the action. We have about 10, 12 minutes left, 12 to 13 minutes left before the show is over. So let them enjoy the rest of the show. Bring them in so they could say hi as well and say hi to the rest of the people who are here with us. And if you're on YouTube, you're watching us on YouTube, again, we want to urge you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And this way you'll never miss a show, because when you subscribe, you'll get the benefit of getting contact by email, letting you know that the show is on the air live, or when we maybe post a pre-recorded video. It's something that I think that may be entertaining to you, that will alert you as well. So there you go. And you have it right here on the coffee hour. So thank you so much. On this Friday, we're going to talk about those movies, those movies you love so much, right? And I'm talking about all of those Turner Classic movies. Now, if you love classic movies as much as I do, and I love classic movies, I love them. I really love them. And I could sit all day and watch them. And a good time for me to watch them is like on a time when I don't have to go any place or do anything. For instance, on a Sunday, maybe on a Saturday. You sit back, relax. I like my Sundays, as I refer to them, as a stay in bed Sunday. Stay in bed and watch TV all day. I don't know. That's if you have nothing, especially when the weather is inclement. All right. Not every Sunday I do that, but I'm just saying. All I'm saying. Anyway, we have great movies for you, and I have something coming up right now. And it's everything I have here comes on tonight. I don't have anything for Saturday and Sunday, but these are my picks of the week for the weekend. We have A Hard Day's Night with the Beatles back in 1964. That's coming on tonight at 6:15 p.m. on Turner Classic Movies. You remember A Hard Day's Night, the Fab Four, the Beatles. That's their movie, and I think you're going to like that. So we watch that at 6:15 tonight, right here on Turner Classic Movies, right there on Turner Classic Movies. Then we have The Fugitive Kind, a Marlon Brando and Joanne Woodward movie back in 1960. That's coming on Turner Classic Movie tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. And that's one of the classic movies by Marlon Brando. And of course, there's another Marlon Brando movie coming on. I guess it follows that, called On the Waterfront back in 1954. And that's also on Turner Classic Movies. You can catch that tonight at 10:15 p.m. all Eastern time. Everything I give you is Eastern time. Now, if you don't like any of these movies, and I couldn't see why you wouldn't, because they're all classics, top of the line classic movies, you could still go on Turner Classic Movie Channel and scam through the as you call the menu, or maybe the schedule, and you'll find other movies there that you may be interested in watching. But these just happen to be my picks of the weekend. And you can still watch, still scan through them for as long as you like and find out the movies. And then if you see these movies, the ones that I mentioned, if you don't get a chance to watch them and you think they may be one of your favorites, you don't want to watch them or you can't watch them in real time, DVR it and DVR some of the other movies that may be coming up. And those of you who subscribe to cable, you could also go on Movie on Demand. Now they have a chock full of movies, and you have a long list of everything, stuff that you probably forgot about and just jogged your memory. You want to DVR it, or you want to make sure that you schedule it to watch it in real time. It's all right there. Turner Classic Movies, and of course, Movie on Demand. And don't forget, when you go on Movie on Demand, you go on demand, you could also hit the other networks that you may like. You may like some of those Lifetime movie channels, right? Those movies that come on Lifetime, you may like some of those. They have a icon for that. You can click on and see what's available there. If you're a sports person, depending on what network the sport event came on and you missed it, like me, I like wrestling. I could always go back to that network and see it again, because when it's broadcast, most wrestling is broadcast in real time and it's on live, and it's usually posted on the network that it's on the following day. So if you missed anything, any kind of event that you thought you wanted to see and you missed it, it's all right there. There's the Yes channel, all of that. It's all right there. So you can check it out right there and do it in the comforts of your own home. That's marvelous. Okay. So there's a lot of things you can do this weekend, and a lot of you, of course, you want to soak up the sunshine. If you happen to be in an area where there's a lot of sun for you, you want to take that opportunity to soak it up, because the weather, of course, is kind of diminishing. It's no longer heat wave weather. It's kind of calmed down. Now, in some places, when we get summer, there are other places that get winter, and vice versa. So when we get our winter, let's say, for instance, I think Australia, right, get their summer, right, when we get our winter. Now, if you're from Australia, can you correct me on that if I'm wrong? But I do believe that Australia, whenever we get winter, they get summer, and vice versa. So a lot of things are happening. A lot of things are happening. I want to say hi more to all of the people who there. There you go. Facebook. There are more people coming in. They idle. Some of them are idle. They don't want to say anything, but that's okay as long as you're there. I appreciate that. All of you people out there in YouTube land, thank you so much for being along with us. We really appreciate your patronage for being with us each week here on the Coffee Hour. A lot of things to do today. Now, if you would like to get in touch with me for whatever reason, you can. I mean, you can do it right now. We're here. You can talk to me right now. But if you have some kind of comment, suggestion, or an idea that you want to convey to me, I'm always open to ideas. And you want to talk about the show, suggestions about the show, I'm always open to all of that. That's why, if you're watching us on YouTube, and you look in the chat area, way at the top in the chat area, there's the information right there. I have my email address and my telephone number. And for those of you who are watching us on Facebook, of course, you know, it's either up here, over here, down here, or over there. But the information is there. And it's my telephone number and my email address. And all you have to do is utilize it to whenever you want, leave a message, write an email, and give us your opinion, suggestions, ideas, and we will acknowledge them. We will talk about it. And of course, right now, if you want to chime in, we will talk about it. Lots of things to talk about. 6 minutes to the hour. We got 6 minutes to go before the show is over. And we get together and raise a martini flag, hoist a martini flag, right? And get ready for the weekend, as a lot of you are pretty sure are ready for that. I see more people are coming in. A lot of you are late, but that's okay. That's okay. Better late than never. And a lot of you who are coming in, you may have just entered for the first time. We thank you for that. Don't make it your last time. We're here every week, every Friday, Eastern Standard Time. Everything is Eastern. Every Friday between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. Eastern. And it's right here on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. We simulcast each week. So if you can't catch us on one, you can also catch us on the other. So I gave you all of that information about movies, and we had sports, and of course the birthdays we read off for DJ Pete. We'll look forward to seeing him next week. Hopefully, we'll find out what happened, and I'm pretty sure there's a good explanation for it. But we will find out what happened. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, excuse me while I shoot up. Okay. And let's see. Baseball is going to be over pretty soon. The World Series, who's going to be in a World Series? My Yankees are not going to be there, so I am not going to push it too much. You know, I'm a big baseball fan, but I'm not going to push it too much because the Yankees are not going to be here. But here's the good news. Football is coming back. Basketball is coming back. People are going to stadiums. People are going to events and things like that. But I want to keep you in mind that even though you go to these events, you still have to do it with precaution. Remember to continue to wear your mask, do your hand sanitizing, and please, if you're around people and you don't know who's vaccinated or who's not vaccinated, but we want to urge you to get vaccinated for the sake of your family, your loved ones, your children. Do that. If you're going to be in the same household, that's the safe thing to do that, because when you go outside of that, it's a whole different ball game. If you're going to do any traveling, please be very, very careful. If you're flying, of course, you're going to have to wear your mask. If you're taking mass transit, bus, subway, or anything like that, you're going to have to wear your mask. People are griping over wearing masks. They don't want to be told that they have to wear masks. But if you go into a person's house or a merchant or a grocery store or a supermarket, and they say to you, you have to wear your mask or you can't stay here. You have to wear your mask or you can't ride the bus or you can't jump on the subway. You can't do that unless you wear a mask. And there's nothing to wearing a mask. There's nothing to it. Once you're outside, you could take it off, especially if you're vaccinated, you're fully vaccinated. And those of you, by the way, who are fully vaccinated, make sure, be diligent enough to get a booster shot, which is available for people who are 65 years and over. They can get that. That started on the 20th, just about 4 days ago, the 20th. And so, that's available for people 65 and over. And the other thing I understand now, that 5 years up can get vaccinated. So we're looking out for our children. We want to protect our children. If you don't want to do it for you, do it for your children. Make sure everybody's safe. For me and my family, I'm going to make sure everybody's vaccinated, wife, children, everybody. So if we live in the same house, it won't be a problem. But you got to make sure, too, when you send your children off to school, of course, you're going to want to make sure that they're protected, make sure that they're wearing their mask, hand sanitizer. Maybe you want to give them a little bottle, buy a little bottle for them, too, so they can take to school. You pack everything in their lunch kit, right? And which is a thing. And when you pack a lunch kit for a child, you want to make sure you also pack a small bottle of hand sanitizer. And I'm pretty sure you already thought of that already, but I just figured I'd just throw that out as an idea. You want to just do that, and that would be a great thing. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap it up for me for another week right here on the Coffee Hour. Do join me next Thursday right here on Facebook Live and YouTube Live as we come to you with Talk Back Live. Brian Camp will be here with the latest developments in today's world of sports, of course. and we'll have conversation together, and that's coming up next Thursday. Other than that, I will be back here next Friday morning. Brian Camp will be here. Hopefully, DJ Pete will be here too. 2020 feature, Brian 20 after the hour, with the latest developments in today's world of sports. DJ Pete 22 the hour with entertainment, news of entertainment, and reciting all of those birthdays of all the people who have made a great contribution to entertainment. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a great day, a great weekend, and I will see you all back here next week. Till then, ciao, ciao. Bye bye.